Welcome to the Blacklist AFTERBUZZ After Show, episode 21? Is that right? We're going to talk about Famke Janssen's boob. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah, 32 years old and still good.
It is a really good song.
It's not bad. Edward Van Halen and who else?
At this point, we refer to him as Edward Van Halen?
Yes, it's Mr. Edward Van Halen. That's what Jeff McCauley calls him, Edward Van Halen. I think he does. Anyway, welcome to the Blacklist AFTERBUZZ After Show. It's Van Halen with a bunch of other folks on there as well. I can't remember anybody else's name.
Do you want to explain the reference? So in case people...
At the end, the double jump.
Jump!
I wanted to use Jumpman by Drake and Future, but we couldn't find the right version.
No.
And the clean version sucked. So I won't do that. Welcome, guys. Welcome to all you guys in the chat room. Good to see you all. Watson and Joseph and Jenny and Marcella. Good to see you in the room here. We've got some stuff to talk about. I missed last week's episode. You guys held it down. I missed a funeral. I missed a very stirring eulogy given by your boy Harold Cooper, which I'm sure you love, Joe.
Good God.
I actually watched that last night. And Aram, some sweet words from Aram. I was catching that. That was
Romeo
sweet.
and Juliet.
Very sweet, yeah, a little Romeo and Juliet there. So, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about this one, episode 21. Now, I'm confused. There's 22 episodes in a season. So they're doing a two-part finale.
Two-part finale.
But does a two-part qualify as one episode?
One episode, two-part. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a doctor, but from what I understand, we're getting an extra show, whether we like it or not. God bless America. Right. That's what's happening.
Okay. So, maybe that bottle episode with Rake and Kate May is a bonus.
That's what I wonder.
That is the bonus of all bonus episodes.
Yeah, still something for you on the side. I'll take it.
We made this. We thought it was fun. Here it is.
Okay, so here we are, folks. Thanks for joining us. We have, so it looks like we've been talking about this presumptive spin-off, Blacklist spin-off that we've heard announced that would star Famke Janssen and possibly Ryan Eggold. And it looks like we now know what that's from. It's from our good girl, Susan Scotty Hargrave.
Oof.
Old Scotty.
Yeah.
I don't want my nickname to be Scotty. That's a
well,
great
it
nickname.
can't be because it's hers.
I gotta tell you.
I'll give you a Frank.
Frank. Frankie?
Okay.
All right, Frank.
I
Frank
guess I'll
Cearley.
take it.
God damn it, Frank.
That Frank's one hot redhead. Anyway, so listen, we were introduced to Famke Janssen, which is Scotty, this character. We see a little bit now. Apparently, she's described sort of last episode into this as a private security firm a la
Halcyon.
Out of Blackwater.
Yes.
Halcyon, which is like a Halliburton, Halcyon, Blackwater kind of, private security firm. And they operate with full knowledge of the government, but the government has the ability to disavow what they do from them. Is this the deal?
Yeah, mostly, kind of, sort of, maybe.
This is the plot of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, by the way.
This is also the plot of America Right Now. This is also what we do.
Is what we do. So this is
that's some weird shit we don't want to deal with. How about you guys do it? That'd be great.
So
it would look way better for us if you took care of that.
If we didn't do it, but we kind of did it.
But it happens anyway.
Yeah.
Just don't throw my name in there.
How much money did you need?
I want to ask you this our girl Pennebaker. So
yeah, shady business.
Is she shady? Is she just doing the work of the government?
Well, that's the question, right? If the government's shady and you work for the government, does that make you shady, or is everything legal now?
But I can't tell. It's so gray now because our other girl, who I love,
Lauren Hitchens.
Yeah, Lauren Hitchens. Well, we know she's bad, but she's national security advisor to the president.
Yeah,
she's just in there chilling. So Pennebaker, we thought she was good, but she's like doing some shady-ish.
Well, we don't really know what Pennebaker hired Halcyon to do.
Right.
It seemed like two separate jobs for Halcyon, right? Whatever she was doing with Pennebaker and whatever she was doing in the whole kidnapping of Lizzie Keene.
Definitely got the impression.
Like two separate jobs.
Yeah, and well, I got the impression there's like a whole bunch of different jobs going on. There's an awful lot happening here. This is a big company.
She's a busy girl.
It's a busy
Yeah,
girl. Well,
a lot of balls in the air.
Well, we see, a lot of balls in the air. Well, we see her in her beautiful DC office. Like
It is nice.
Not
gorgeous
too shabby,
office.
is it?
She's immaculately dressed and she's beautiful, and she's closing the deal with my man
Samuel.
Yeah, with Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
She is sealing that deal up.
She's sealed with a boob, is what I wrote.
Sealed with a boob.
Like, you know, I'm like, I like the way she closes the deal. Like, how do I go and pitch Halcyon?
It's effective.
I'm like, hey, Halcyon, I think I may want to do a deal.
Right? Is this how it works?
Like, I don't know if
It's
it's
a
a good
big
idea.
deal. It's a really big deal.
I don't know if I want to hire you. Okay. Yeah, that was a great scene. I thought it was great.
Joker to my left and Joker to my right.
Oh, shut up, Frank.
Stuck in the middle with you. No, seriously, I thought that was a great scene. Great
was.
introduction
That's a
to her
good scene.
character and a good monologue
And-
that usually reserved for Red, but it's kind of like her version of the Red monologue.
absolutely.
That was great.
You're in, and this is what it feels like to take a risk and to be outside your comfort zone, and it feels pretty good, doesn't it? And
Yes.
especially with someone you trust. That was great.
I love
and he's just holding on to the boob. And you know, I bought Samuel. At first, I was like, God, guy heads up this big of a company. He's got this much money kicking around. He's got enough money to be hiring these people. He's got some tail on the side. This guy's he's not going to be this screwed up about grabbing a boob. But then you meet his wife later on. You're like, all right, she thinks he's effing around when he watches a little something on the TV.
Yeah,
So
and
there's
it's
no
true.
doubt.
He's like, it's only movies.
That was hilarious, man.
Nannies.
Threesomes with
Nannies.
Unbelievable women cops.
Movies.
I love that casting of his wife. Just
Yeah.
a little side note. That was fantastic. Made something out of nothing.
So we see her, and we also see who we see again. My girl Tani Cypress playing Nez Rowan,
Yeah.
who is her sidekick. You know, and I guess you know, job requirement in Halcyon, be hot.
Yeah.
Is that a job?
That you apparently.
Yeah.
She's her like I love the, you know, the idea of two strong women, you know, sort of beautiful women running this super crazy. It's a new take on the giant corporation contractor. Military contractor folks. I mean, those are like the chick who plays Nez Rowan, the sidekick, Tawny, who's a badass, and Falcon Jensen do not seem like the stereotypical type to be running this type of organization. Yeah, they are. Yeah,
Why
that's
not?
cool. I mean, it's great. I thought that was great casting, and I loved it all. And I believe both of them, by the way. Anyway, so we get a peek into Halcyon. We can see what they're doing, and yeah, I don't know. I like it. And we find out that Red also knows who it is, now knows who it is, and decided to send her a very specific message by, you know, killing everyone in the room and then writing a very eloquent typed up note.
Oh, yes.
That just said, we should talk.
Call my exchange.
Call my exchange. That is what's cooler than that, by the way?
Nothing.
Like it's typed out on the
Whole lot
actual
of nothing.
Actual typewriter.
some good paper
Real
stock.
nice, heavy stationery.
The nice stationery.
Well, it has to hold up to the bullet wounds in the blood.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So it has
Yeah,
to be.
and it can't be
good
too
stuff.
absorbent. But
Right.
you know,
No.
maybe I'm just on one side.
Just
you
on-
know, just to take the ink, but not the blood.
Just for a little dramatic flair.
And then how do you put it on the guy? Well, you know, you'll stab.
Yeah.
Step, step.
Get on there.
One big
I know
stab.
that move well.
That's also class.
Step.
R.I.P. Nando. Like one step. You know, the two things the two most ballerous things I've always wanted to say. One of them is fuel the jet. I want to do that one day. Another one is call my exchange.
Call my exchange. That's it.
That's it.
You can do that tomorrow.
Let's call my exchange.
You can do that tomorrow.
Fuel the jet.
Fuel the jet. I can't help you with. Call my exchange. You can set up an exchange in 20 minutes.
All right.
You can make this happen.
All right.
Fuel the jet. You gotta have a little extra
Yeah.
scratch for that.
I like fuel the jet because it doesn't even matter where you're going. They don't care. It's fuel the jet.
Fuel the jet. I'll tell you when I get there.
Fuel the jet.
We'll let you know.
Sorry, we're off on a thing. You don't ever want to fuel a jet?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Come on. Who doesn't want to make that call?
Fuel the jet.
This is how I do.
Anyway, I should note that as we'll get right back on the rails here soon, but I should note that this episode was directed by Andy McCarthy. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that.
It's Blaine and Steph reunited
Blaine and
Really?
Steph
I didn't even put it together.
reunited.
from Pretty in Pink.
Oh man.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Now, apparently he's directed a couple episodes before, so we could have made this observation before if we're paying attention. But I think it's very cool. So I was very happy. I'm like,
that
Andrew
makes
Carly, Blaine and Steph.
Makes me happy.
It's like the old days.
If only Ringwald will make a guest appearance. Why
Yeah.
can't she be a Blacklister?
Maybe.
Bring her back as Lizzie Keane. We'll see if anything.
Where's
any
Ducky?
different.
Bring them all.
Bring Ducky back. Ducky's not working right now. The 2.5 Men is over.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So let's get back on track. So, Red is hot on the trail of just wants this meeting with Scotty for whatever reason, right? And then we go back to the post office, and things are it's a little tense at the post office. We're seeing how Wrestler is dealing with Lizzie's death. Her office is getting cleared out, and he didn't like that at all.
That was last.
That was last week.
Oh, okay. It felt like today because I watched them back to back.
Okay.
Good.
This week,
What happened this week, Joe? What happened this week?
Harold Cooper was very, 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 very upset about the fact that he made a promise to Lizzie when he laid.
I will do whatever
Yeah.
it takes. And Wrestler didn't like that because Wrestler's a goddamn Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Even though he's been shown that the Boy Scout troop is a little wacky, even though you tell him, like, oh, yeah, Pennebaker's running some bullshit game, and then if you go a little further up, they're all corrupt too. And he's like, but there's rules.
Right.
Yeah, but he's got to shave it. He's got to shave it off. He's gotta
Cooper's
shave
on a
it out.
mission. I love Cooper on a
I
Cooper's
mission.
love
go.
Cooper on a mission. You were critical of Cooper last week. What do you think of Cooper this week?
He's good. I don't know. For me, that last week the preacher thing blew me out because that was a strange choice.
I liked Cooper this week. I liked that when it's sort of like he's realizing the severe depth of the corruption, how far up and how low it goes,
Right.
how it's everywhere. Even old friends of his that he's worked with forever have been touched by it. So now he's taking matters into his own hands.
It's
He
a
already
rough
did it
scene.
by getting Tom in on the action.
Yeah.
He started this mission kind of last episode. He's really beat up about Liz's death.
Yeah.
And there's a thing that happens, I think, and the show's kind of touching on it. I don't think I'm making it a theme, but it's definitely it's underlying. When you've kind of bent the rules, I think there's an assumption that what I've bent is as far, because it usually is. This is as far as I'm prepared to go. So therefore, in my brain, this is as far out as anyone should go. So the post office dealing with Red, the deal with the devil they made, that whole thing, that's as far out as Cooper is willing to go, right? And so mentally, as a character, he's like, that's it. That's where everybody, that's the line. That's the line because that's where I put it. And then when he finds out the line is way, way further out than that, and there's shit going on you want no part of, that messes with his your whole structure as a character, which I think is great. I think they're doing a little something with it without hitting us over the head with it. But I think that's a little sub-theme
Well,
there.
his personal line is getting pushed a little further
And- yeah.
and expanding in order to keep up.
Exactly, has
Can't
to.
beat him, join him in your own way.
I really like that they had that corruption go as far down as the cop at the airport. Right? It does. There's no bottom and there's no top.
Yeah.
Anybody can be bought. Anybody can be grayed up into this thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, but, if you sell, I'll give you triple what she's paying you. Oh, but they threw back the government thing. I'm skipping after that because Red's like, I'll offer you triple what she's paying you. He's like, no thanks. She's got the government on her side. And I might get a medal.
Yeah. I might
That's
be a hero.
Yeah, but he wasn't a hero. He didn't make it.
He did not.
I
But
felt bad for that guy.
I did too.
Like, he's
Come on, what are you doing?
He's just trying to take his wife to Bermuda.
Buy himself a nice little house.
Yeah. Anyway, so also, Harold's breaking the rules even further because he's brought in our boy Tom Keene.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and what you mentioned.
I love Wrestler mentioning, is this the new Agent Keen?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's funny.
that was a great line. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I want Tom to be acting like, but I don't know. It seems so broken up.
I like him.
Business as usual.
Please keep him around.
He's
He's my favorite of the two Keens.
Frank, goddammit, I'm going to agree with you. I enjoyed that so much. I was like, that's the guy I like.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Slaying.
This is feeling right.
Just setting him up and slaying ass for no reason. Because he can. And what did Aram say? He should write a book.
He should write a book.
Yes.
I love Tom and Aram together.
Oh yeah, that's some nice. Tom and Aram.
Rom
Rom
Tom.
It's like a rom tom.
A Rom Tom.
There's like a little meet cute at the rom tom.
Right? Look at this meat.
It's cute. I don't know what's happening in this. All right, so we should talk about that because I'm not in chronological order at all, but there was a bit where Harold just tries to get the warrant to go after the dude who they find who they realize is they've tracked the guy, right?
Stalder.
Benjamin.
And so he wants to get a warrant for this to go and to go after this person, right?
After Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
To Benjamin, and the
Who it
judge
turns out has been kidnapped by Halcyon, but we don't really know that at the time.
right. And the judge is like, I like the line where he says, like, you're harboring a fugitive or you're working with a criminal, something like that. And he goes, so are you, or I heard you are too. What was that line?
Has he been kidnapped by Halcyon, or did he escape Halcyon?
No, he's been kidnapped by
they
Halcyon.
tried-
They're holding him. I thought maybe I misunderstood. They're holding him. That was that conversation
I
at the end
guess
of the episode where he's like, well, I didn't know, part of your way of doing business was kidnapping your clients.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
But yeah, so was it the assistant attorney general? Is that who he was talking to?
Yes, I believe so.
And he says no, I don't see anything here. And that's that moment, right? That's that I can't believe this is how far up this goes, and I can't believe that this is a government official that was a government employee that was murdered, and you guys don't care.
Yeah.
You guys, that whatever the deal is, it's more important than these people.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a harsh realization to come to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I thought that he escaped Halcyon. They tried to kidnap him. He got away because he was brought in by the FBI, and then he got on a plane.
Then he got on his plane to Dubai, and then he dropped off the planet.
But he's still taking calls, and he still has an assistant, and an assistant patches.
Yes, okay, so you're saying that he's not kidnapped by Halcyon.
I thought he escaped them.
Maybe
which
you're
is why
right.
she's
I
trying
might be
to
wrong.
extend an olive branch.
You're probably right, and I'm probably wrong.
Probably.
Damn it, Frank!
Probably.
Son of a bitch.
Probably.
All right.
I think you're
And
right.
she's trying to get back into his good graces. That's why they had that whole conversation. That's why he was kind of badass on the phone when he called her
That's
out.
right.
Said, my
That makes
employer hired you to kidnap Liz, yada, 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 yada.
There it
You
is.
tried to kidnap me so I would be a bargaining chip.
Got it.
Right.
And she's like, well, here's an olive branch so I could shove it up your ass.
Boom.
That's how
you.
Frank does it.
Frank gets down. Don't mess with Frank.
Frank.
All right, so he explained to me again, because again I have a loose understanding of this, of what happened here. The woman in the coffee shop.
Oh.
That is Benjamin's assistant.
Amanda
Got it.
Bigelow,
Amanda
Ben's
Bigelow.
assistant.
So
Who has the best guest star appearance ever on a show.
Right,
Now
she
that's the guest star appearance
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah,
Where I just get to make out with Ryan Eggold.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable
day.
at the studio when Julia was at the door banging on the wall of the soundstage. Several times they had to ask her to
Give me
leave.
an audition.
Right.
Give me an audition.
Yes.
I want to be in.
Yeah. That was interesting. And so they brought him in to get the thing that looks like a hotspot, which did not look like a hotspot, by the way.
No, it
No,
looked like
it
a,
didn't.
It's giant,
Right, with a
Yeah.
big one. It's like,
nothing to see here. Let me
Let me
crank
see
it.
it.
This moment here.
like, no, it's not. It's like your average hotspot. It's like, let me get closer. No, not suspicious at all.
Nope, nothing weird here.
Nothing's happening. I'm right next to her. What's
Looks like
going
a
on,
hot
Rob?
spot welded to a walkie-talkie. Nothing weird.
What is that? Anyway, so I like the idea.
We went to
of, like,
Radio Shack. This is all they had, so that's what
you
they
have
got.
to use other methods, and
Yeah.
then out he came. The
It was
charmer.
other methods.
Woo, man!
Slap on those Tom
Slap
King
on
glasses.
those Tom King glasses.
I don't want to wear.
No
I wrote my-
woman can say no.
You break
I
out a sweater and a pair of glasses, and Tom
I'm in.
King.
I said,
Yes, please.
my boy Reggie's a real charmer. Old Reggie.
Sure is. And not
Reggie.
only that, Amanda Bigelow, she's bold.
Yeah, but
That's a bold girl.
Yeah.
She knows what she wants. She's gonna go
yeah,
get it.
damn
that's a-
straight she
You
is.
can sit right here.
You think that's gonna intimidate me? You think that would? No, we're gonna hit this shit right now.
Yeah. So there it was.
Yeah. Oh, you think that you having a
props to
kid
her.
and a dead wife? No, I'm in. I'm in all the way.
So
I saw your sweater.
I get it, Joe.
Oh, you want me to stop? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, the line worked for him. The line seriously worked for him.
It did.
It did work. Aram was definitely impressed by the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely impressed. He should write a book. I want to go back to the scene with.
Although, wait, Aram was also like a little bummed that he was going out on a date. Remember,
yeah.
he wanted to hear it from him.
Yes.
That Tom really did love Liz.
Okay, can
Yeah.
I say this? I gotta say this. They're rossing Aram up too much. In my opinion.
Oh.
I think they're turning him into too much of a Ross character, and I think
Rachel?
what?
Huh?
Oh,
Chandler?
oh, there's too much. It's I've worked for the FBI for years and years. But wait a second. Do you mean to tell me that people might actually have sex with other people to get in? I can't even. What?
All
Like
right.
that's too much. Like, come on.
It's FBI and CIA.
Come on. He's a smart guy. I don't like when they put too much naivete on him.
Okay.
They're
Fair
writing
enough.
it too naive.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay, I still like it.
I love him, but that's just
I did like the bit
I
of
still
advice.
enjoy it, but I
did,
see what you're
I did
saying.
like the bit of advice that old Reggie gave her
Yeah.
on. It's like, you know what? Hey, man, here's the thing with the ladies.
But it's true. Like he
This
was.
isn't gonna last forever. Lizzie's dead. This is over.
He was only beholden to you at the post office because of Lizzie. That's the only reason he was
Right.
here. So you better get in on Navabi.
Go take a swing on the Bobby now. That
Yeah.
ship's gonna
Better
sail,
tell her.
Jack.
Yeah. That's a, you know,
It was good advice. Sound advice.
super spy
Sound
Tom
advice.
King. Sound
Yeah.
advice.
You are in the friend zone, my man. You need to step out of the friend zone.
He should write a book.
He should write a
You
book.
should
Yeah.
write a book.
So then he left to go, presumably not jump her air gap. You know, he didn't want to jump her air gap. Go do that. I'd like to jump Falcon Jensen's air gap. That's for sure.
With a thumb drive.
I can't help you.
With a thumb drive. What happened?
Is that a thumb drive? Or are you happy to see?
Oh, well, that was awkward. I was like, you just insert the thumb drive. I mean, jump the air gap.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying. So I'm saying it's too
it's
too
funny. I thought that was
Oh,
cute.
he got embarrassed.
Yeah, he's embarrassed. Anyway.
Penises. Oh, you're like
No.
40. Come on,
I
man.
want to go back. This is a free-form open association conversation here, but I want to go back to talk about the standoff between Hitchens and Red in the car. That was
Yeah.
a very good scene.
It's a good
great
standoff.
That was a very good scene. Like, you know, I would have hurt you.
Can't wait to hurt
I
you.
can't
Can't wait
wait.
to hurt you. Yeah. That's gonna
that's
happen.
coming.
That's definitely
That
coming.
is
Red does
coming.
not make hollow promises. Yeah, the bit, you know, when he said, like, you know, do not try my patience, I very love it. Like, I totally was scared. I believed him.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
Like, I'm like, Red is, you know,
And she was too,
not
so
joking
she
around.
did his bidding.
Yeah. And then she did his bidding and brought my man in there, you know, Brad Clark. Oh. That poor sap.
Poor guy.
You know, and he had that I'm a good businessman face.
Hey, man.
And nobody like, oh shit.
You know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of my guy in Die Hard.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make the deal for you.
Yeah. Like Hans, Booby.
You need me.
You need me.
I'm gonna give you what you need.
Hey, John McClane, listen, guys. These guys aren't messing around.
Oh, get out! Shut your mouth! Get out! Oh,
They're gonna kill
so
you. In other words, we can do Die Hard all day.
Right, we can.
All
Right.
right. Yeah, speaking of 1984.
Right.
Anyway, so he was ready to go, and then Red just killed him, and then said he was hungry.
I'm famished or starving.
So Red again. This is
It's
the
been fun to
ruthless.
see like this old Red back.
Yeah.
You know,
Unleashed.
Red out of mourning, Red
Yeah.
on a mission,
Yeah.
being quippy.
Quippy and
Killing
very
folks.
serious.
Unleashed as a maniac. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna start
Yeah.
killing fools.
That-
Nothing was better than the scene.
He's
I know
sending
we're
a message.
jumping. The scene in the dude's house with the wife.
Oh yeah.
That was
was
hilarious.
just like,
Yeah.
there you are, Red.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are,
Oh,
Peter.
Cynthia, I want to hear all about it.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Give the
good.
gun. She's spilling the beans.
Oh, all over the floor.
My man Samuels.
Oh, shut up, Samuel. He's got a gun.
Yeah, he's like, come
No,
on, honey.
I'm gonna pretend like I no.
Don't worry, my wife will stand by me the whole time. Samuel, you porn-watching mother effer. He's got a gun. You watch porn. Therefore, I'm spilling the beans, mister.
I have a buddy.
Did you?
I have a buddy that went to
He's
sex
closing his eyes, imagining
aholics,
Famke Jensen's boob. He's like,
right? It's like it was so good. It was so good. I made the deal. I made the deal.
Jeez.
There was a buddy of mine that went and ended up in Sexaholics Anonymous because his wife thought watching porn was cheating. Like as far as I didn't realize that people like this existed. This is a real thing. I thought that was such a good character.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
He's like, you want to see my chit? I'm like, it's not real. This is not real.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing.
All right. So that was a great scene too.
Great
Red being
scene.
red.
Red on up.
So then we have.
Poor Samuel.
So we should also talk about and touch on the
Talk to
containers, the container scene.
Yes.
Operation.
Yeah, the operation.
In Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I was really cliff hung. I thought they got blown up.
I
Yeah,
was
we did too.
cliffhangified
Yes.
and they
I was cliff-hung.
blowificated.
Yes.
So, okay, so this was they were working with a separate SWAT team in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Hung.
Right? You were cliff hung.
Yeah.
Through the commercial break. They didn't even put a commercial break on it. They just whoosh. I'm cool.
I'm also. Never mind.
All right. So they're working there, but that was an impressive connection, right? Everybody's cameras fed via satellite
It was a
to
good sequence.
yeah.
Blaine, Andrew McCarthy did a good job directing that sequence. That was good. Yeah, and so I thought they got blown up.
They didn't get blown up at all?
They didn't get blown up, and that was very cool.
Although other shipments all over the world got blown
Yeah,
up.
in Europe and in
Yeah.
the Mideast, they got blown up.
Yeah.
But
Blown
not
up
the
good.
one in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So how big is Halcyon? I mean, it gives you a very good sense of the size of this
Scope.
organization.
Yeah, scope. I mean, well, big enough to have their own TV show, apparently.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's starring Famke Janssen, so I can only imagine it's a halcyon.
Well, they did go out
It's
of
gonna
their
be
way
sponsored
to.
by the Ford Mustang like a maniac.
Oh, did anyone see the commercial with Navabi?
I missed it.
I was
The
watching
Ford
online.
Escape.
No, I missed
Ford
it.
is, it's good advertising. It's
Ford
smart.
Escape commercial as Navabi on the phone, and someone is setting her up on a blind date. I don't know. And someone's walking up behind her car, and then she takes off. I
You
don't
watched
know.
it,
I think
right?
it's-
You
I
watched
watched
it.
that
There you
commercial.
go.
Yeah.
Then they win.
It sounds riveting. I missed it.
Sorry, I'm just saying. She
So-
looked great too.
So it looks like after all of that, looks like Red's ploys to get to Famke is starting to. It seems like it's starting to work.
It also looks like Red stole those barrels himself, didn't he?
Sure does.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that to Harold.
Well, he did, but then Harold was like, "Well, no, we're not going to make a profit. You understand those barrels are going into government hands as evidence." But they never made it.
Did Harold become that vodka there?
He just did. He just, no.
Oh shit,
Sorry,
gentlemen,
he's never watching this.
that's true.
Come on. Man. Focus up.
So they never made it to evidence, and
Right.
that
No.
odds
And-
are they were intercepted by Red's people. Yes, so he can make a tidy profit. So he's back
Sure.
in business.
Oh, he's back in business.
Red is back in business.
Oh,
he's
he's gotta
not
make-
just on the Lizzie Keene
Listen,
mission.
he's got to
doing
make
his
some
own
money back.
dealings. Yeah, absolutely.
He bought that
does.
Lincoln Town Car for $40,000 or whatever he paid
And
the guy.
Cape May, he froze all his assets and he paid
Yep.
everyone off.
You remember that?
He suspended operations.
Yep.
My man's got to make some money.
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah. So he's got to get some cash.
He's
for
got
it.
to play Chris Christopherson. He's got a whole crew of
exactly.
guys.
He's got exactly Boz. We know his name is Boz now.
I like calling him Chris Christopherson. It makes me happy.
So he I do like this whole chess game / checker game that happened at the airport, which was very cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was very cool. And I like the idea of Red relentless. I think the idea of this episode, it's like Red's relentlessly coming for you, Famke. Like check out Scotty. Red's coming for you. She seems so cool, not worried. And then a bunch of people are killed with a knife. So cool, not worried. Other dude's killed with another letter. So cool, not worried. He's in the airport. She gets him arrested. He's back. You know, like Red keeps on coming. I love that. I love the idea of
Yeah, right. You're playing checkers. I'm playing chess.
exactly.
And I'm going to F you up.
When he got that phone call from Tom, though, don't go to the airport, it's a setup.
Yeah.
And then he kept on going. I didn't
Yeah.
see like the scope of it yet. I was like, no, Red, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's like, "Shall we go?" And like, but of course, and then I
Figured
did
there
like
was
that.
some-
It was a bit, sort of a Scooby Doo reveal when he's like, when he mentioned a quick glance at the schematics of the airport showed that this is the obvious place to do. I'm like, oh, of course the schematic showed that.
What else would they show?
It was nice to see him, a few steps ahead for the first time in a few episodes.
Yes,
he
good-
hasn't
good
been
point.
there for a
Smartest guy
while.
in the room.
Good point.
Yep.
Good point.
He's getting his mojo back.
And he sure as F wasn't going to get outsmarted by a couple of security guards from the airport.
No, that wasn't going to happen. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, we're not going to take him down.
No, that was not happening with Red Reddington. So, and Dimby had to jump on him. I like to see, even the optics of that was like the guy with the gun and Dimby had to jump on him so fast. It was like, this is a real soldier here. You're just a
Yeah.
like
Now, was she calling She called 911, but she already knew the cops that were going to show up.
well, it's a first responder thing. So she called. That's a good point. She called.
Why didn't she just set it
911.
up so as soon as he came in, the airport security guys took him down?
I don't know, Frank. Why you can ask so many questions?
I don't know.
Fucking Frank.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know if the 911 call was necessary.
It
She already
wasn't as
had it in
dramatic.
place.
Yeah.
I think that it was a red herring for us. I don't know plot wise, but it definitely kept us engaged because we're like, it's all real.
That's fine.
Right.
I was just asking.
Like if she dialed like 226, then we'd be like, but 911, we're like, ooh, maybe it's real.
Right.
Just asking.
I agree.
Think about
Right. Fair enough. Okay, so then she goes and takes him in. He goes downstairs, has a conversation.
Tells a
about
great
Bermuda,
story.
Tells a great story. Gets to jump on him.
Double jump
on him, and then does that move where he drives in with his hands taped to the steering wheel, and get Boz and Dimby in the back. Mm-hmm. And Red's back there with the AR-15. I loved all that.
Yeah.
I love our girl Famke's line there. Might I suggest your anger isn't with me, but with yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Once they start the little conversation, the little tete-a-tete.
And that little tete-a-tete, unlike the tete-a-tete at the beginning of the episode that my man did, the tete-a-tete at the end of the episode
Didn't land tete-a-tete.
does no.
I'm not saying it.
Look, I enjoy the tete-a-tete between Red and Famke. I thought that was really good, and Scotty. I thought that was a really cool exchange. But then we learned that this isn't actually an adversarial relationship. That this is going to be an uneasy truce or alliance. This whole time he's been getting to her because he needs to align with her, not getting to her because he needs to take her down. It's just like you said, we should talk. We should talk. But the only way to get her attention was to take all these people out.
Yeah.
But again, Red things aren't what they seem with Red. Like he's only there to have a conversation, to join forces with her. Am I reading this correctly? Is that right?
Well, temporarily. What bums me out, I feel bad for those guys. Like, all they're doing is just they're working a job, you know? They get out of special forces. They've got a particular skill set. What are they going to do? Go sell Hyundais? It's not. No, I mean, you've had a lot more excitement in your life. You're real good with a gun and knife, whatever else, and you've got all this ability.
Some of the mercenaries that work for Halcyon.
And then all of a sudden you're just getting whacked for no good reason, just because someone wants to have a conversation.
I'm gonna guess that Halcyon's got you doing some stuff that's probably not, on the up and up, and Halcyon hires guys like Mr. Solomon.
Listen, all I'm saying is these are, blue collar guys, normal guys, a couple beers
enough.
at the end of the night. We just whacked a bunch of fools for no good reason other than we were told to.
Don't get in Red's way. What do you got there, Jules? What mean, in general, what else do you have about this episode? Because I think we just ran through the whole episode.
We did, but I do like how people. Interesting to see Red's sort of confliction with himself, because not only Scotty but Hitchens also called him out that they feel like Lizzie's death is on him.
Yeah.
That they didn't cause her death. She died in childbirth.
Yeah.
That wasn't
They're
their
very clear.
fault.
And it wasn't.
And she even said, Scotty even said, we went to great lengths to deliver her to a caring party till you interfered.
Very true.
Alexander Kirk. We don't know who that fool is, though. We don't know anything about Alexander Kirk, do we? Is there something we're missing?
We
Internet?
do not.
Is there a thing from like season 1 where his name is mentioned and we don't know?
No, we do not know.
We do not know.
I don't know who he is.
And we should also mention that we returned to the Blacklist. We are back to
Number 18.
Number 18.
And I will say this on the Blacklist: if there is some sort of cause for the nomenclature, 18 seems like a good place for her. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I think that seems about right.
Well, it's her. It's not her company. It's her.
And
it's not Halcyon. It's
right. It's Susan Hargrave. What I like about what he did at the end, or why it makes sense, is now that she didn't deliver for Alexander Kirk, he's going to go after her. So that's what Red's saying, is now we have a common enemy because you screwed up and didn't do what you were hired to do. Now he's coming after you, and I'm going after him. So we have a common enemy.
We also know that Alexander Kirk is Stalder's boss.
That's Stalder's boss?
Yes.
Yes.
That's his employer. That's his employer.
He's an employer, or is that who hired him?
My
that
employer
job?
hired,
There you
his
go.
words, my employer hired you to kidnap Liz, but you failed to deliver the target and your people got her killed. So then you went after me, so you would have a bargaining chip against my boss who wants you dead.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're going to take notes about these things, Frank, I guess you're right.
So Alexander
Don't
Kirk
mess with Frank.
apparently wants her dead now, wants Scotty dead. Alexander Kirk is also Stalder's boss. And what did Stalder do? He was the president of... He worked for a global financial council, and he was president of the Energy Consortium Group.
Oh,
That's right. So this, okay, so now we get an idea of who Alexander Kirk is. Mm-hmm. Got it. So
In
he's...
some way, yes.
These guys are global.
Just
But
getting
what
some
did he
puzzle
want with
pieces.
Masha? What
Don't
does he
know.
want?
I'm just collecting
We don't know.
puzzle pieces, and hopefully we can put it together.
Well,
speaking
now I
of
think I
puzzle
understand.
pieces, we should touch on Brian Dennehy, Grandpa.
What about him?
What about him?
We touched on it last week.
Oh, we did.
We weren't here.
Wait, was Grandpa this week?
Last week,
week.
you need to drive this bus better.
I've done a poor job of driving the bus.
Lord.
I tell
Lord.
you what.
I was up late watching Captain America: Civil War last night. I saw the midnight show. I may or may not watch these at 3 and 4 in the morning.
It's a grown-ass man, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I'm letting you down, folks.
All right, well, let's wrap this up. Let's get this done.
Oh, look at you taking over for
Hey,
me.
we got to get it did.
All right. Let's shove this some predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Julia.
Okay,
Or Frank.
predictions. Frank, I think
Frank.
in the next 2 episodes, I think Howard is going to show up, and Howard is Scotty's husband.
Oh,
Who obviously, we should talk about this. Red likes Howard.
Likes him.
Does not trust our girl.
Nope. Does
our
not
girl
like what
Susan
she's
at all.
done with the company.
No.
He had high hopes for what Halcyon was going to do.
Yes.
And she's taken it to a different place than
Howard
how
would
we had
never
hoped.
have done business with the likes of
So I
Alexander
think
Kirk.
Howard is going to intervene.
Okay.
So the Howard cometh.
The Howard cometh.
All right.
Got
Joe?
it. I really got nothing. All of us stuff that we thought was happening last week, we were so completely wrong. We thought that Susan Hargrave was maybe Masha's aunt.
Oh, yeah, I
and
was
so
way off.
Was a
Way off on that.
convoluted thing that we've got. And nothing. So I don't know. All bets are off, man. I got nothing. I still think Lizzie's alive, though. I don't think they like us that much.
I think maybe Alexander Kirk maybe her dad? Maybe he survived the fire and the gunshot?
Now we're trying to tie this all to family. I don't know if there's any.
Well, why would he want her so badly?
Why the hell did Red want her? What is it about Liz?
God damn it,
Somebody-
Lizzie Keene!
Frank,
How
what
are
the
you?
hell's going on?
Don't know.
We don't. We still don't have the answers to that. We don't have the answers.
What are your
Yellow Boss.
predictions?
You got a prediction?
What
do you got?
I predict that.
Predict something.
I predict that you're right. I think that Red does like Howard, and let's see what I'm doing here. Sorry,
All right, so what is your prediction?
I may or may not be looking at
You may not be ordering your pizza.
nannies, nannies and babysitters
Wait,
online.
I need to take a picture of that.
My
I'm sorry, ladies and
What's your
gentlemen.
prediction, Braswell?
Come on, focus up.
my prediction. I'm hungry. My prediction is that I think that you're right about Red and liking Howard, and I think that Howard will come back and sort of maybe right the ship of what Halcyon is, and then bring Famke around to whatever the good or whatever Halcyon's supposed to be, and that will be the launch of this new series. Because I can't imagine Halcyon is a series about a bunch of a morally ambiguous military contractor. That's not a fun series.
I'm gonna further predict that you're gonna order double cheese,
No, I don't.
extra blue cheese crumbles, and red chilies on the side.
An avocado,
cheese.
just because you're allergic, but you tried to eat them anyway.
Thank you very much.
Should we do this?
Yes. That's all we got, folks. Thank you for joining us in the chat room, Jenny D and Marcella and Watson and all the rest of you folks. Sorry we had such a short show today. We will be back for the finale. We'll be back in full force.
Part one of the finale.
We'll be back of finale part 1 to discuss this. And Joe, where can the kids find
They
you?
can find me on the Twitters at Joe Flippo, JoeFlippo.
And Julia. Frank, where can they find you?
You can find Frank.
Frank.
On Twitter and on Instagram with my name, Julia Cearley, JuliaCearley. Stop it.
And you can find me, Joe Braswell, at JOK Braswell on Twitter and Instagram, and JK Braz on Snapchat. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you very much. Thank you for listening, and thank you for checking us on iTunes. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.